Hi everyone, I'm Grahtles, and welcome to a new series of Cities Skylines. And if you're new to my channel and you don't know what I do Let's Plays, tutorials, tips, tricks on Cities Skylines. And if you like what you see, click the like button, subscribe, comment, and share. So with that being said, if you don't know what map this is Islands from the base game. And I really like this map. You have this beautiful ocean to look out onto. You have rail behind us. You have a lot of the resources. I think you have all the resources, depending on which tile you open up. But on the first tile, we have farming right off the bat. And yeah, I think this would be a fun map to try out and give it a go. I did name it. It's Kyntre Islands. And I hope you enjoy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this and see what we can do with it. So right here, we pause the game, like always, at the beginning. And our start is obviously the same one as every other map, and it's this highway. Now, before I did anything, there was a lot of rocks all over this map, so I decided to go ahead and delete them all. And I was thinking about the highway. I'm not sure if I want to keep the highway there or just do a 6-lane over it and do ramps off, or to keep it as a highway and go through. So I made a bit of a different start than usual, and I came in with the 2-lane one-way roads, and I left myself quite a bit of room in case I want to change it up later on. Now, I suggest to a lot of people that when you start a new city, to keep a lot of room when you start the center. This way, if you want to change it up later on, you'll have no problems. So here I'm just kind of looking over where I want to kind of run this. Now, this is not a flat map. It's quite bumpy. What I mean by that is we're kind of on this like ridge when we start, and then it dips, and then as we come closer to the river there, it goes back up again. So I was kind of trying to keep it like a little bit of the contour, but again, we only have 70,000, so I just wanted to make sure that it looked decent and we got a good start. So here I'm going to go in with my regular road because we only have that to open up, and I'm just going to lay this out because I'll upgrade the roads to the 2-lane one-way once they open up after we place this. So I wasn't really sure how far I wanted to come down. I didn't want to waste too much money. I think I ended up coming down around 8, and I do believe I delete one of those sections. Now 8, I mean those long 10, the blue line to the blue line. So I think I did 80 altogether. And as I'm looking at it, I'm like, it kind of dips down, but there's nothing I can do about it because we do not get the terrain tool until later on. So there I did cut off the bottom part. I thought we didn't need it. I might as well get refunded for it. And then I opened up what I have available now. So I do have the 2-lane one-way, and I upgrade all this. So this way they can get around just like it would be a highway almost, but it definitely slows it down and it takes the citizens where they need to go. So I'm deciding also which side of the highway I want to put my citizens and which side I would like to put my industry. So as I'm looking, I really do like the farm down here. So initially I thought I would put my industry over there, and once it changed over to farming, which is milestone number 2, I would just convert all my industry over to farming. But because I'm thinking about doing high density on the island, I really wanted to have a transition. So I thought I'm going to put my residents off to that side where the farm is, and this way, once I get my services in, I can move them later on, and I could do sort of like a transitional town between the high density I want to put on the island and the low density on the other side of this highway. So that's what I decided to do. So I'm just going to put in a couple of roads over here for some industry, and then I'm going to move over to the other side and put in our residence. So along with the industry, I am going to have to put in my services, which is my electric, and I'm going to use the inland water treatment plant that I got with Sunset Harbor, and I will put a water pump down the end on this side. So this way I can have the water and the sewer really close together, not polluting close together, but close together, that I can run the pipe straight down. Another thing to keep in mind is when you run your roads, if I'm running from this side to the other side, to keep water pipes down, you can just run them in a straight line and you don't have to worry about like the budget as much. If you were to put your residence completely on the other side of the map, you're going to have to run more water pipes. So I try to keep them in line with each other, so this way they connect and I don't lose too much money in the beginning. Now, if you're wondering why I'm going to put the residence on the same side as the farming, I'm still going to use that for industry. It's just going to be done in a different way. Here, I am just messing around trying to figure out how I want to get this to connect. I end up deleting this. It's not necessary right now. It's not a lot of traffic coming in, and it's not going to stay very long, so I'm not really too worried about it. But on the side where I'm going to put the residence, which is right here, it's a lot of farmland. So I'm not worried about taking up some of it for residence on the top and then putting the farming industry down on the bottom. Because I might keep this as a highway, I also can give them their own access to the road there, and I don't have to connect it up to my residence if I don't want to later on. I can figure it out. And again, even if it's a 6-lane highway, coming off the 6-lane road, coming off the highway, again, I'm going to give them their own access to the farm without having to go through my residential area. So for you that subscribe to me and know my style that it's been lately, when I do an episode, I do a lot of time lapse. I like to keep the episode moving. I don't want you guys to get bored, and it keeps it on par a little bit. So this time is the first time I actually started a new city without doing commentary. And when I do the start of a new city, it's probably one of the most important things in your city is when you start and why you start it and how you start it. And I like to give explanations for the decisions I'm making. And so I decided to really keep this just in real time to show you like the process that I kind of go through to kind of figure out how I'm going to run these roads and why I'm running them, and you know, industry and farming and all that. So that is the reason why this is in real time. I'm just kind of giving you a real look of my thought process as I'm thinking about how I'm going to lay this out. So I hope you appreciate that I'm not doing the time lapse for at least the start of the episodes, just to keep you in the loop about why I'm doing what I'm doing. So with that being said, the gravel road I just ran is going to be a residential road. The one I'm doing right now is going to be a commercial road. And the reason being is I want a commercial road going up towards the running parallel with the highway, because coming off the highway I'm thinking about doing probably a 6-lane because I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it a highway or a 6-lane, but I don't want the traffic to be on the first initial road that I put in coming off the highway, just because I want to keep the traffic down. So this road I'm running here will be the 6-lane, and I actually think I came down too far into the farming area, so I do delete that a little bit and come up a little bit more. And the reason also is because I'm going to probably open the tile between the residential area here and the highway that's built in, and there's space there that I can definitely add on to make this a decently sized residential area. So this is going to be my commercial road here, and as you can see I'm upgrading it from the gravel, And as I'm looking, I'm thinking this might be a little too long. So I start to take this down to here. And I connect it up. And then I delete part of that road. And I'm also looking at size. Again, I'm going to keep the residential roads about leave a space between the residence and the commercial, as well as the 6-lane that will eventually be the one that's coming off the highway. Now, the reason why I use the 4-lane instead of the 6-lane is just simply it's the same size and it saves money. Eventually, when I get my income built up, I will convert that to a 6-lane, and I'm gonna keep these gravel roads off that 6-lane. I think I do initially connect them, but I delete them from there, and then I think I actually put them back. It's really weird, but I'm looking for spacing. That's what I'm doing right now. So now that I figured out where that space is, that I have the one in between, I pretty much start running in the residential roads, and this way I can get an idea of how I want this layout to be. Now, I noticed here it was a little longer than I thought it was going to be, and I think I just keep it. It's not a big deal. I think at first I kind of was like, wait, it should have been like 3 or 4, whatever it was supposed to be. And I kind of am a little OCD with lining up everything. So I had to just get over it. I was like, it's fine. It fits there. It has the 4 spaces between that and the end of the map, so it'll work. So I got over it. Anyway, so here I'm just running in the residential roads, and I'm just running them pretty much back to back. And yeah, I'm going to continue to do that. And I might do a little time lapse. So here I'm just looking at this extra piece right here, and I think it's a little bit longer and closer to the highway than I would like, and I might add a high school or something back in here. So I did want to leave a little bit of space depending on how I was going to change it up. Alright, let's get into services. I'm going to use a coal power plant. I always pretty much use a coal power plant. It just takes me the furthest in the game without running out of electricity for a while. And I have a really decent budget right now, so I'm not too worried about the budget at all. I have a good start for a residential area. I have commercial. I have just a little bit of industry in here. I might add a little bit more, I think, at the before I start the game, but yeah, this is just enough for me to put in my power plant, my water pipes, and run my electric. So yeah, let's go ahead and I'll keep this going. I think we'll time lapse a bit of this because I think most of you know how to put in your power and your water. If you don't, I did a video on that just before, and you can check that out if you like. I'll put the link in below. So here I'm looking at my budget, and I'm looking at my entrance in, and I don't like the sharp right turns, so I'm just going to give them a little bit of a ramp on both sides to get in and out just a lot smoother and a lot quicker, and it'll help on traffic. Next, because I do have the money for it, I'm just going to run these one-ways in and out by the industry just to help the traffic flow. Now I'm going to zone in, but I'm not going to zone in everything. I'm just going to take down this by 4 squares all the way down to my commercial to make sure that electric runs all the way down this line. Once that fills in, then I will fill out the rest, but I want to make sure the electric catches. Here I go into my economy, I turn down everything to 50%, including the roads. They don't need to be fast, they just need to get in. So it saves a lot of money. I turn it all down, and then we're going to go ahead and start up the game. So here we hit Little Hamlet and we get taxes and loans, we get a garbage, healthcare, and education. So those are important. We're going to go ahead and put the garbage in first. That is the most important. And we're going to raise those taxes, and we're going to probably raise that budget up a little bit as well. Usually I raise my taxes to 12, but I've seen people do it to 13, so I gave it a try. And if they complain, I'll just turn them down. So I'm just going to raise this budget up on the roads, the electric, and the water. As our city is growing, there's going to be more of a demand for that, and I don't want to have to come back into it, so I figured I might as well do it while I'm here. So keeping the episode moving along, I'm going to keep it in time lapse. I'm going to put in the garbage, the school, the medical, and I'm just going to expand on the gravel roads for the industry and the residents as well as keep filling in the zoning as it's needed. And yeah, we'll get to our second milestone before you know it. Yay, we hit Worthy Village, our second milestone. So now we get districts, police, fire, and with the districts, we can now zone in our farming and forestry. We also get a second loan, so that will help us to expand on our industry. And I think I'll leave this episode off here. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And I'll see you in episode 2. Bye!